welcome to the first online talk about the Foodie Book Club from Lee and the SweetLife.com. The first time I've done this online, so I've got my phone, which is my trusty phone, and my new camera, so I'm hoping one of them works. It's not that difficult to do, with my camera. I've just realised how much chest I'm showing there. Oh, I'm all wrapped up because I've still got this cold. And I'm trying to shout about this Foodie Book Club because it is really, really fun to do. So every month I read a book that has some form of food in the title. And it can be random. It's not, honestly, I am not choosing them in any specific order. It's just I've got a list. Who knew there were so many books out there with food in the title, or drink? And I'm literally just going like this. And some of them I'm reading, some of them I'm listening on audio tape, because when I'm making recipes and developing recipes for other people, it's nice to just have something on. This one I was listening to on audio tape, and this one is called the Guernsey Literary and Potato Pie Society. Is that right? Guernsey, yes, okay, so it is. And it's actually, do you know, I was surprised that I liked this book. Let's just start off by saying there will be spoilers, so if you haven't read it, don't listen to this. And also, it's not really a review, it's just me talking randomly about my thoughts when I was listening to this, or reading it, but I was listening to this particular one. And also what I'm trying to do is put a recipe with that as well, so using the whatever's in the title as to make a recipe with. And when I say using whatever's in the title, if you know me now, it's just random. Okay. So let's talk about this one. This one's written by Mary Ann Schaefer and Annie Robb Barrows. And let me tell you, I had no idea this had been made into a film. And after reading the story, I really, really want to go and see the film now. So I guess that's something. It took me a while to get used to what was happening. I'm really aware that this film I never get any better than this. Gosh, I think I would. I'll move over. Yes, so, what was I saying? Yeah, so I was surprised I'd like this because I didn't quite know what to expect, because I didn't know it was into a film, and I started reading it. I hadn't expected it to be a series of letters, and normally I can't bear these sort of books because I just get bored halfway through. But I really enjoyed this one. I did find it difficult at first to like what initially I thought was the main character, who's Juliet Ashton, who's the character who is the writer in the book, sending letters to this guy called Darcy Adams. Is that not the best name ever for a fictional romantic character? I mean, it's just like, it is like Mr. Darcy, I'm sure they had something to do with that. But anyway, I didn't think I'd like it until the introduction of the other unseen hero character happened. Someone called Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth is not there. But throughout the book, she is the hero. She saves people's lives. She's the one who actually starts the society, because in the war, and again, something else I didn't know about, and my lack of history, my mum would kill me because she was the big reader of any historical fiction novel, so she would have known all of this anyway. So what happened is the Guernsey was taken over in the war in 1940. Please don't do horrible comments if I'm wrong with this. And this book was set in 1946. Yeah, so what happens is they literally don't only do they take the island, but they completely cut Guernsey off from the rest of UK and everything like that. So they were in rations. They didn't have candles. They obviously had less food, and even things like pigs were, when they were born, they were branded, and when they were butchered, they were kept at log off so that the Germans knew which pigs had died, so they went to the Germans rather than them. But obviously there was a bit of a scam going on, which I find really, really interesting. So one particular pig had been passed around lots and lots and lots of times. It was dying, but it wasn't dying. And so Elizabeth and her friends were having this, what I'm calling a pig party. And on the way home, and they invited lots of people to it to join in with the pig. And on the way home, they met some Germans by accident, obviously, because they were out after curfew. And Elizabeth, being very brave, decided to tell them that, apologies, we in our book club. But because of that, they had to start this book club, so that's how it started. Um, it actually brought back memories of stories that my mum used to tell me about the war. My mum was evacuated in the war to the lakes. I'm not sure it was that happy, but she things that were mentioned there were things like doodlebugs, and this idea that you were safe if you could hear the noise. But once the noise stopped, that's when the bomb would apparently drop, and then obviously fall on a house or whatever, and destroy it. And I remember Mum saying there was a sense of relief and guilt about these bombs, because relief as in it, you were safe, and guilt because you knew that somebody else, possibly the next house, next street, had been hit by this bomb. So I can remember that, and that sort of brought that home to me. And they talk about the children being evacuated because Elizabeth has a child by one of the German soldiers. Told you this story in here. And this child called Kit gets passed around in a nice way, passed around. The group look after her. There's a book society look after her during the war. I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end, although I do like a happy ending. And I sort of wasn't disappointed with this, so it was really, really nice. Let me see. I did find it difficult, I have to say this, to like the main character right at the beginning, but then I sort of beat myself up about that for a little while, and then I realised that I don't have to like main characters in books, and it's something I find really difficult. It's something I find really difficult to get in my head, because I do like happy endings, and I do like things to be nice. I find it really difficult to, even when I'm reading other genres of books, I find it difficult to sort of, I feels like I have to like a character to enjoy the book, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And this book made me go, you know what, you don't have to. And I think that was a really good thing that happened throughout the book. Because I didn't like her at first, I felt like I was growing with the book into liking her, because she was just she felt like a privileged young woman during the war. She was a writer, and she had a house in London, etc., etc. But as I grew to know her history throughout the book, and the character building grew, it was really good, because I grew to like her more and wanted her to have the happy ending. Why do I keep doing that? I don't do that in real life. I wanted her to have a happy ending that she did. Oops. Okay. The recipe that they have, which is the Potato Peel Society. Gosh, these are my own teeth. Because I want to write a recipe with all of these things. I did look up the recipe for the potato peel pie, and trust me, it didn't sound that good. But because they felt that in the book they had a book society, they felt that food had to go along with it, and that's how I feel about food. Food for me is love. I've just come back from Croatia and spent time with my fabulous family over there, and we were literally talking about food bringing family and people together. And this is a great example in the book of how that happens. So the recipe there is literally potato peel as the crust, and mashed potatoes, and beetroot, boiled, mashed, as the filling. Didn't want to do that, although I was tempted just to do it just to see, because I'm sure there are lots of people out there who follow books that have, and websites that have recipes from books. But I thought I'd do something different. So look on leeandthesweetlife.com. The recipe I've got there is very thinly sliced potatoes with a peel left on, because I had to do some reference. And it's I think I called it a potato peel roll, so it's a bit like a Swiss roll, but only savoury. So it's got a fabulous scent of mince and all that wonderful stuff there. So the full recipe's there. Please follow. Please ring the bell. Please comment. I keep pointing down there because when I watch stuff, that's what they do. I've no idea what that means. But I'm hoping that you do. So follow, share with your friends, and I'm going to try and switch this off without deleting it. I hope that was fun, and see you next time.